This is Matt for Into Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by Ebanie Bridges. Ebanie, you're here in the UK.
Yes.
Talk to me, how excited are you to be here in Leeds?
Oh, amazing. As you know, Leeds is my adopted city, I'm excited to be back. Shout out to Lord Mayor, if he's watching. But yeah.
You managed to get yourself in there, didn't you? Into the Mayor's house?
Yeah, he came to my meet and greet and invited me down to the Civic Hall, and that was a pretty amazing experience, to be honest. I felt well chuffed in there, but no, it was great.
Sorry, just rewind. You felt well chuffed?
Yes.
You picking up a bit of the lingo over here now?
Maybe. I mean, I've been here long enough, but yeah.
Can you do a Yorkshire accent, yeah? Can you do it?
No. Can I do the Yorkshire? No, I can't. I can't.
Okay. No, don't.
Don't do it. No, I can't.
But anyway, look, you're not only back in Leeds, you're back here for a world title against arguably the toughest fighter who's got a belt out there now. Talk to me, Cecilia Roman, very good fighter, but you're, like you said on stage, you're not here to spiders.
I'm not. Yeah, you know what I am. I'm not here to stuff around. You know what I mean? And for me, like I like Cecilia Roman. Like, I'm a fan. You know what I mean? I love the way she fights. That kind of South American style. She's well experienced. She likes to sit in the pocket and dig. She can box, and that fight excites me. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of fights I like. I'm pretty much the Australian blonde Mexican fighter, and for me to have an opponent like her, where we could possibly have a great fight where it might go like toe to toe, that's fucking exciting for me, and I want to challenge myself, I'm not here. I really am not here to fuck around, like Eddie offered me fights, like easier fights, or said, do you want to do like a 8-rounder, or like this person, that, and I go, no, like I want the best fights. I want to challenge myself, win or lose. Obviously I want to win, but it's not just about winning for me. I just want to have good fights. I love boxing, I love fighting, and I want to test myself, and I want to give the fans great fights.
You mentioned to me all the time you're a boxing fan as well, so to fight someone like her who likes to sit in the pocket against someone like you who loves to sit in the pocket and just loves to throw bombs as well, this has got fireworks written all over it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, when I first saw, obviously when I seen Cecilia Roman fight, I've always wanted to fight her, purely because I'm just like, this would be a mad fight. Like, it's going to be a mad fight. Look, like, she likes to sit and go toe to toe. She's like got that nice, high guard. Just her style. I think our styles together are really good. Mind you, pretty much everyone I've fought said that they like to go forward and fight and sit in the pocket, and then they don't. So I'm not going to hold my breath on her sitting in the pocket with me. But I mean, if she does, it'd be very exciting. But otherwise, it's going to be a great fight. It's a fight for the fans. And I have a lot of Argentinian fans as well, so I'm excited for that.
Also, you're known for obviously your toughness, and we saw a lot of that when you got introduced to the UK against Shannon Courtney. But you've also alluded that you're not just someone who can bang. You've got boxing ability. You can roll about in the Philly shell. Your defence in that fight, although you obviously got the head clash, was very underrated, I thought, especially the way the fight was almost depicted on the telly. Like, you were blocking a lot of the shots. Do you feel like you've still got a bit more to show the British public, especially with this big fight coming up?
Yeah, definitely. You know what? It's like styles make fights, and I haven't really had to box on the back foot. I haven't really had a fighter that's come forward to me and pushed me back that I feel like I need to box. Most of everyone that I fought, it's like fighters that I feel like my style, that forward kind of pressure style, works. You know what I mean? Like against Shannon, yeah, definitely. I do think my defense was underrated. I have that real South American style boxing, Mexican style boxing, which is a lot of parrying and a lot of slipping and a lot of catching and countering tight on the inside, little tight shots. It's not this long British style where you're longing and you're throwing these long hookers, and I like that. I feel like if that fight was in Texas or Mexico, I would have won it those points the other way around. You know what I mean? It's just the kind of style of fights, and I'm really hoping that, because me and Cecilia are kind of similar styles in a way, that it's going to be like one of those fights that it's going to be close. It's a close fight, and that's what we want. We want fights that are close and exciting for the fans, especially women's boxing needs that, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously women's boxing needs that. We just had a big announcement, Katie Taylor fight. Natasha Jonas is going into a world title fight. There's Savannah Marshall and Shields coming up. But obviously your fight, have you envisaged what it's going to be like if you're crowned the new world champion? Have you played that out in your mind, a bit of a dream for you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's all about visualizing. I have visualized like that, having that, raising that belt and that feeling of knowing that I'm the world champion, definitely gone through me, and the thoughts of what doors that opens, and how important it is. It's like for me, losing's not an option. You know what I mean? I have to win this, like, and that's the only option for me, you know, and because I know winning this of what then happens next, you know, but I'm not too focused on what's next. I know that there is beyond, but the first thing is getting this title, and like I said, it's so important for me. You know, this is more important for me than the first world title fight, because the first world title fight I was coming in 4 weeks' notice. You know, like, I was no pressure on me. You know, but this one, like, I fucking really believe I have to fucking win. You know, and me thinking that I have to fucking win is gonna make me, you know, you have no idea. You know, like I've given up my life in Australia. You know, like I've had to do that. I've moved over here so I can be here for these little 1%ers. You know, not traveling around the world before my fights. You know, I'm doing everything I can to win this fight.
That's one thing I will say about you. I think people see, obviously, you're quite comical. You'll clap back against people on Twitter. You'll have the banter with people, but you do put yourself out there. You do graft. You were in England before, and you're doing meet and greets up and down the country, not just in Leeds, where obviously you'll get a bit of a turnout, but you're in Essex. You're going back up to Manchester. You're sort of mixing in with, you know, everyday people. How is that? Do you think people understand how much hard work and how much sacrifice you actually do, or do you think people just see it and think she's just playing around a little bit?
No, they definitely don't know because they're not doing it. You wouldn't know unless you've done it. And the thing is, I'm organising that myself. I don't have a team or an agent that's organising for me. I'm doing it myself. You know, but I'm doing it. You know, I want to give back to the fans, man, and I love my fans. Like, I wouldn't be here without my fans. And for me, when I'm not like in off season, or I'm not in like training, I was recovering from my hand. You know, I've only just started being able to punch with it again properly. You know, but you know, I was like, you know, why not go give back? You know, and it makes their day. You know, and it's great for me to be here, and just also obviously I want to train with Tibbs and stuff. Like, you know, it's definitely hard work, and people don't realise. I don't think there'd be many British people that would just give up their whole freaking life to go to Australia to go train. You know, they got it here. They're comfortable. They're in their own country. You know, they're with their families. They got their friends around. You know, you're not giving up your partners. You're not giving up all this kind of stuff for weeks and months at a time. You know, it's not easy doing that. But most of us Australian fighters have to do that because unfortunately Australia is not that great for boxing. You know, you see most of us, we go to America and we train. You know, you've seen a couple now coming over here. You see Dempsey McKean's over here. You know, like we have to go out and we have to sacrifice our homes, and that's not fucking easy, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's not easy, but it's what we got to do. And people don't realise how tough that is. And that you know, you realise, you know, the people that are in the country and they're here, they're doing it. Yeah, like it's you know,
it's easier almost, isn't it? Because this is where it is boxing.
Oh, it's definitely easier. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. You got everything. You got your home. You got your parents. You got, you know, whatever. You got everything here. You know, but I'm having to really support and organise everything myself and be away from that. You know, so, and it's not just like a trip over the pond. You know.
Yeah. Bloody long flight. Just quickly, let's touch on Mark Tibbs. You've done a bit of work with him before. You seem to gel really well in the gym. The pad work, mitt work I've seen seems to be going well. Talk to me about your training relationship with him and how that's sort of developed and cracked on.
Yeah, well, look, you know, I always thought that I definitely, for me to kind of not go further, but for the better for my career is to be here in the UK. You know, like I said, not just sitting around the world before every fight. I'm fighting here in the UK, so like I need to do my camps here because it's too much, all the traveling, you know. And my American team is amazing. Like the best trainers, like I love them. God bless them. And they've got to be here for my fight, of course. But you know, with Mark, it started like obviously I knew Mark has a name. You know, he's one of the best trainers here. We know that. His dad, again, one of the best trainers. That's a fucking huge history in the Tibbs family of boxing. You know what I mean? You know, they've had great fighters in there. They've got a great stable at the moment, up-and-coming fighters with Johnny Fisher and, you know, Johnny Hedges and Harvey Horn. You know, all these guys are there and they're all hungry. And it's great to be in that environment, you know. And I feel like Mark is able to give me that bit of finesse that I need. Do you know what I mean? I can already fight like a little Mexican. I can do all that, you know what I mean? And that's great, but it's just these little extra things that he has that is a bit different, a bit more British style kind of boxing, you know, that I can add to the toolbox, you know, and the more that I'm adding. And that's what I want. I want to be able to show this and that. I'm hoping that in my fight I can show a lot, you know what I mean? We have a game plan, of course, but, you know, and we're going to do what's going to work, you know, but I would like to show, you know, what I can do if it comes to it. Or I could just like, you know, fucking plow her over and fucking knock her out in the first couple of rounds. That'd be great for my hand and injuries. But yeah, you know, I'm excited and I'm very confident with having Mark in my corner.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Tibbs and the Tibbs family. Incredible set of coaches, some of the best definitely in this country and world. Finally, just give a message to everyone who supported you. You've got a huge following, especially here in Leeds. World title in Leeds. You couldn't have written this a couple of years ago when you were trying to build your brand, and now you're here. So, message for your supporters, for people back home, people supporting you.
Yeah, of course. Like I've said it from day one. My supporters and my fans, you're my promoters. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. They're the guys that are pushing my name. You're the guys that are promoting me still to this day. And that's why I give back so much to my fans. And I really hope that I can come in here in Leeds, in my adopted city, and win this world title. And I want to win this world title for the people. To show that we can do these things. And you can put anything in your mind to, and you can do it. I only started boxing 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like literally, my first amateur fight 5 years ago. And for me to be fighting in Leeds for a world title is my second world title now. If I can win this, it's just huge, and it also just shows that, being yourself and being genuine, being real and training hard and fucking committing and fucking sacrificing and staying consistent, it gets you your goals, you know what I mean? And I want to be that person to inspire. So yeah, thank you guys. And sorry about all swearing, but you know me.
Is it going to be on the new?
It's going to be and the new, and it's going to be in Leeds, and I can't wait for everyone to be there. Let's go, guys. All Leeds, aren't we?
Ebanie Bridges, thanks for talking to Into Boxing, and we'll catch up again.